Hello, everyone. It is I, your teacher, and as promised, I'm gonna make this quick presentation to explain dependent and independent clauses. I will try and keep it as short as possible, so you guys don't have to sit here and watch a really long video just to get the information. Remember, if you do have questions after the presentation, make sure that you contact me either physically or on WhatsApp. Send me an email if you want to, but make sure that we are in contact and I can try and help you out with any confusion that might happen. All right, so let's dive right in. We're going to start with dependent clauses. So what is a dependent clause? Well, very importantly, let's see right here what we have. A dependent clause is a clause that cannot stand on its own. This is basically something that does not express a complete idea. Okay, we're going to get into some examples right now in a moment so you can fully understand what we mean by not expressing a complete idea. Now, all clauses have a subject and a verb, so keep that in mind for the examples that you make in the future. Let's see our first example over here. So we have, I am not tidying the dishes unless Peter helps. So right here we have two clauses. The dependent clause is unless Peter helps. Why is that dependent? Because if we just say unless Peter helps, that is not a complete idea. You're going to be wondering what's going to happen unless Peter helps. Like what's next? Give me all the information. So that's why we have this other idea. I'm not tidying the dishes to help all of this make sense. Okay. We have another one right there, which is I don't like you because you ate my gansito. Again, if you just say because you ate my gansito, the other person's gonna be left wondering, all right, so what's gonna happen because I ate your gansito? Like, give me all the information. So now I don't like you because you ate my gansito. With this part, I don't like you. Now it's a complete idea. And lastly, we have I brought my own car since I want to leave early. Now, if you're thinking I want to leave early because it's underlined, this is the dependent clause. Well, yes and no. It's part of it, but we also need the since. So this would be since I want to leave early. All of this. If you just say I want to leave early, that is a complete idea. That makes sense by itself. But if you say since I want to leave early, now that does not make a that is not a complete idea. That does not make sense on its own. All right. Hopefully you are with me so far because now we're going to go into what makes dependent clauses dependent. So we use special kind of words. In this case, these right here. So these guys are subordinating conjunctions, or you can call them subordinators. And they make your independent clauses dependent. So you can think of whatever independent clause you want. So let's think of an idea. Let's think of a complete idea. And let me write it right here. So I'm going to write down I'm hungry. So if I say I'm hungry, that is a complete idea, right? But what happens if I add one of these? Let's choose one of these guys right here. Let's say because, one of the easy ones. Let's go with because. So if I say because I'm hungry, is that a complete idea? No. Now it became a dependent clause. Now it doesn't make sense. Now it needs something else to function. So I can say something like oh my god, okay. I'm angry because I'm hungry. So now that's a complete idea, right? I'm angry because I'm hungry. So now it makes sense if you add something else, right? So those are dependent clauses, the ones that do not make sense on their own. Now, if you're following me, we are going to go to independent clauses. Now, we kind of already got a glimpse of them by adding some of them to the dependent clauses and making a complete idea, right? So, what is an independent clause? It's basically a sentence or a clause that can stand on its own. It is a complete thought, like the ones that I made in the other one. And we always have to remember that a clause has a subject and a verb. So subject and predicate. Now, let's see some examples. These are very straightforward. So we have a patrol had spotted the sniper. I went to the movies on Sunday. People need to relax more. I mean, if I ask you, what's your favorite hobby? You can say something like, I like to play the drums. I mean, all those complete ideas. Basically, I think these are the simplest ones to make. And dependents are also simple. You just have to remember that you need subordinating conjunctions, okay? Do not forget to add a subordinating conjunction. That is the easiest way to spot them, and that is the easiest way to use them in your sentences. Now, it's your turn. I want you guys to practice a lot, practice as much as you need, but please make sure that you do not have any questions. It's very, very important that you fully understand this topic, okay? So we're gonna practice here. So I want you to observe and try and determine what type of clauses we have. Pause it for like 10 seconds and try and do it on your own. All right. Hopefully you did pause and you tried to do it. I'll just give you the answers right now. So we have the secret of life is honesty. So this right here. This is a complete idea, so it is an independent clause. Independent clause. Now we have another one right here. Well, I'll just remove this so it does not get in our way. We have this. If you can fake that. This is a dependent clause. How do I know? Well, I mean, it does have a subordinate conjunction right there in if. And lastly, we got you've got it made. So this is an independent clause. I mean, we always have to remember, how do I know that these are three clauses? Well, we have a subject and we have a verb, right? We have a subject, we have a verb. In this case, we also have a modal, and we have a subject and we have our verb. So that's how I know that they are three different clauses. Also try and look for those. That's really going to help you out. Identify the subordinators like we talked about, and that's also going to help you find the dependent clauses. And it's as simple as that. Let's see one more example, and that would be it. So we have this one. Everyone has to be nicer because we don't live forever. So again, pause the video right there. All right. So let me give you the answers. We have one clause right here and then another one right there. Everyone has to be nicer. Independent clause that makes sense by itself. And then we also have because we don't live together. This would be a dependent clause. It does not make sense on its own. And yes, here we go. It does also have a subordinating conjunction. So that should be another big just look for these hints and they're going to help you identify the sentences a lot faster in case it's hard for you to kind of spot things on your own. But yeah, hopefully this was useful for you. Again, if you do have questions, reach me physically in the classroom, send me a message, send me an email, whatever you need to do. Go to tutoring with another teacher if you have to. But yeah, please, please, please remember, this is super important if you want to be able to understand types of sentences a lot easier. All right, that's it. I am your teacher and I am signing off. I will see you in class. I wish you all the best. Take care and have the best of days.